Hi everyone, and welcome to this beginner's mat Pilates. We're going to get started on our mats, and we're going to come to the middle of our mat and roll down gently onto our back. So you can grab your thighs as you roll down onto your back. Perfect. You can bend your legs in, take your hands to the mat. And we're just going to start by connecting to the breath. So Pilates, it's very important to connect your movements with your breath. The Pilates breath is inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through pursed lips. So take a nice big inhale through the nose. Feel the rib cage expand side to side, front and back, 3 deep breath. And then exhale through pursed lips, drawing the rib cage down. On our next one, we're going to inhale, expanding the rib cage. And then when we exhale, you're going to draw the transverse abdominis in like a corset and give the pelvic floor a gentle lift. So inhale it in, exhale, draw that transverse abdominis in. And this is the breath that we're going to use throughout the class. So we're going to get started by doing some leg slides. Your pelvis is in a neutral position at all times, and we're going to slide the right leg out across the mat on our inhale, and then exhale, you're going to draw that leg back in. Inhale, lengthen the left leg. Exhale, core connects, and you draw that leg back in. Let's go to the other side. You're staying in a neutral pelvis. You are not swaying in the hips. Everything is maintaining stable. You're following your breath, really using that mind to muscle connection. This is a small movement, but you really want to engage that core and feel that connection. It's not just about moving your leg, it's about that core connection of actually pulling your leg back in. Let's go for another 2. Last one. Neutral pelvis. Bring it back in. Take your hands behind your head, and then on your exhale, you're going to lift up into an ab curl. So I want you to make sure that your gaze is towards your thighs. Your abs aren't popping, so you're drawing the belly button to the spine, keeping that intra-abdominal pressure, and your ribs are sliding down to your hips. We're going to do the same movement. We're just going to speed it up. So extend the right leg, and then we're going to switch, extending the left. So now we're getting into the upper and the lower abs, sliding the feet across the floor a little bit faster. You can feel that it's more intense. Okay, let's go for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs back in, and then stay up in that ab curl. Here we're going to twist from side to side. So exhale as you twist, inhale back to center. Okay, really getting into those obliques, contralateral obliques. Staying up in the ab curl. You should be feeling a burn in the abs. Small movements, but if you have that mind to muscle connection, you're doing well. Okay, so stay up in the ab curl. We're going to slide the right leg out, and then we're going to exhale, pull it in and twist towards the right. Come back to center, sliding that right leg out. Exhale, twist it. Inhale, back to center. Lifting up, thinking of that opposite rib to hip connection as you twist. Okay, let's go for another 3. Pelvis is neutral. Last 2. Last one. Come back to center, keep that leg in, and then we're going to go to the other side. If you need to take a break here and rest your head, you can do that. Just pause the video. Otherwise, we're going to go into the next side. So slide that left leg out. Exhale, draw it in and twist. Inhale, slide it out. Okay, working the lower and the upper abs and the obliques. So really getting into those muscles, those core muscles. Transverse abdominis is working to draw that belly button to spine, keeping that intra-abdominal pressure. Let's go for another 3, 2, 2, use that core to bring that leg in. Last one. Come back to center, rest your head, take your arms overhead. I want you to make sure when you take your arms overhead now that you're not popping in the ribs. So we're keeping the rib to hip connection as the arms come overhead, and we're keeping our arms hovering off the mat in our periphery. We're going to take the feet out further away. We're going to start with our roll up, but we're going to modify it. So we're going to exhale, lift up into our ab curl, taking the arms down. Inhale, lower, arms come over. Remember, rib to hip connection, no flaring in the ribs. You want to keep that core connection at all times, that rib cage placement. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Let's go for another 2. Last one. Take it overhead. We're going to come into the full roll up now if you can. If you can't, stay with this modification that we just did. Okay, we're going to keep our knees bent. So you're going to inhale, take your hands to the ceiling. Exhale, you're going to roll up vertebra by vertebra, rolling up over a ball, scooping the abs in. Head comes between arms. Inhale, start rolling back down. Exhale, complete the roll down. Hands come overhead. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, roll up and over your ball. Inhale, start to roll back, rolling down vertebra by vertebra, slow and controlled. Exhale, complete the roll down. Inhale, arms come to ceiling. Exhale, you're rolling up, scooping in the abs, rolling up and over your ball. Inhale, start to roll down, lengthening the hip flexors and rolling down vertebra by vertebra. Let's go for another 2, rolling up and over that ball. And then rolling back down. Follow your breath, slow and controlled. Okay, rolling up, over, and then rolling back down. Okay, we're going to take our arms to the ceiling again, and then we're going to roll up. But instead of rolling over our ball, we're going to extend the spine, lengthening through the spine, coming into spine twist. So take your arms out to the side. Option 2, extend your legs, flexing your feet. Legs come together, or you can cross your legs. Whatever feels more comfortable for you. If you are struggling with your hips, you're feeling sticky in the hips, cross your legs. Otherwise, you can extend your legs. And then we're going to come into spine twist. So you're going to twist towards the right. Give me 3 pulses, 3 exhales. Getting deeper with each exhale to the other side. Back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Make sure the other arm doesn't come across the midline of the body. Stays out in line with the shoulder. And then back to center. Exhale. Lift, lengthen. Deepening that oblique contraction. Let's go for 2. Lift, lengthen, exhale. Take the arms down, bend the legs, and then we're going to roll back down, vertebra by vertebra, down onto our mats. We can bring our heels in towards our glutes now. We're going to come into our glute bridges. So we're going to exhale, lift up into our glute bridge, pressing through the heels. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift. Keeping that rib to hip connection, slight tuck under the pelvis. So you're not flaring in the ribs. You are keeping the ribs down, tuck under the pelvis. Keeping that core connection, that belly button to spine. Perfect. Let's do another 5. Feel that glute contraction, the hamstrings working. Last 3, 2, 1. Hold it up here. Take that right leg. We're going to bend it in towards the chest. Weight is in your left leg, but your hips are square. So feel your hips. Are they square? Not rocking to one side. They're completely level on the same plane. And then you're going to inhale, tap, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Hips stay up. Keep them up. Don't lose that glute connection. And keep the hips level. Left glute is working hard. Okay, let's go for another 2. Last one. Hold it up here. Lower the hips. Exhale, press. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press. So we're working that glute on the left. Single leg bridge. Make sure the hips are on the same plane. Last 3, 2, 1. Lower that right foot down. And then we're going to go into the other side. So if you want to take a break, you can lower your hips down, hug your knees in towards your chest. Otherwise, we're going to go into the other side. So lifting up into your glute bridge, put the weight in that right foot, and then we're going to lift that left foot off the mat. Hips are level. Inhale, tap, exhale, lift. Core connection, rib to hip connection. If you need that tactile reference of your hips, you can have it. You can take it. And make sure you stay up in that glute bridge. Don't go lower as you lift the leg. Keep everything stable. Last 2. Last one. Hold it here. Lower the hips. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hips are on the same plane still. Working that right glute. You should be feeling a nice burn. Stay with me. Last 3. 2, 1. Lower that foot back down. Lower the hips. And hug the knees in towards the chest. Whew. Now the glutes are awake. We're going to finish with a bit more glute work. So come onto your side. Rest your head on your arm. Bottom leg bent. Top leg extended in line with the hip. Flex that foot and then point that foot. I want you to make sure your hips are square here and that there's a little gap underneath your waist in the mat. So push that top hip away a bit. If you need to get a cushion or like a blanket for your hip, you can do that. Okay. We're going to flex the foot. Bend it in. Keep it hip height. Exhale, extend it up, push through that heel. Inhale, bend. Exhale, push. We're keeping the rib to hip connection so that there's a slight tuck under the pelvis. We're not arching in the back. Keeping that belly button to spine. Really pushing that heel away. Finding length. Last 2. Last one, hold it out, flex that foot. We're going to inhale, take it forward, exhale, point that foot and take it back. Feeling a contraction in the glute max. Inhale, take it forward, exhale, sweep it back. I want you to make sure that this is a slow and controlled movement. You're not arching in the spine. You're keeping the tuck under of the pelvis. You're not moving the hips. You're just moving that femur inside the hip socket. Okay. It's like you're painting the wall with your foot. Last one. Hold it out in line with your hip. We're going to lift, lower. So exhale, lift, inhale, lower. You should be feeling the burn about now. Remember to keep that good form. Okay, lift it up hip height. We're going to circle it forward, up and around and down. Inhale for half the circle. Exhale for the other half. Remember to keep those hips still. Last one in this direction. And then we take it to the other direction. Up and around and back down. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. Last one. Bring that knee in. Tap it out. Okay, we're going to go straight into the other side, but let's just do a nice stretch. So take that left leg, that working leg, over the right, lift up, lengthen the spine, and then twist towards the left. Feeling a nice stretch in that glute. Lengthen the spine and twist even further. Okay, unravel there, and then we're going to come down onto the other side. So rest your head on your arm, extend the top leg, bend the bottom leg, push that top hip away, finding the gap between your waist and the mat, and then you're going to bring that leg about hip height, point, flex that foot, getting into that ankle mobility, which is actually so important for hip mobility and knee mobility. Okay. And then we're going to flex the foot. Inhale, take it forward. Exhale, point and take it back. Flex, take it forward. Point, take it back. Following your breath. Remember, no arching in the spine. Keep that slight tuck under of your pelvis. Rib to hip connection. Core is engaged. Belly button to spine. That leg is working hard inside that hip joint. Lengthen that leg. Okay. Perfect. Last one. Hold it out in line with the hip. Lift, lower. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Keep the hips square. Stacked. Just tapping that foot down and lifting it back up. Let's go for another 2. Last one. Hold it hip height. Circle it forward, back and around. Glutes are on fire. Woo! Stay with me if you can. Okay, take it in the other direction. Back, up and around. Remember, the hips aren't moving. If your hips are moving, make your circle smaller. Last one. Okay, bend it in, tap out that glute. Lift up. Take that leg, right leg over the left, lift up, lengthen the spine. Twist towards the right. Feeling a nice stretch in the spine, in the glute. Lengthen the spine and twist deeper. And then release. We're going to come into a planking series. Promise you, I won't make it as bad as it sounds, because we're going to still try and keep it beginner. Okay. So come into your 4-point kneeling position. I want you to make sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Flex the feet underneath, tuck the toes. We're going to start with our knee hovers. So you're going to exhale, deepen that core connection, lifting the knees off the mat, belly button to spine. Inhale, lower it back down. Exhale, push those hands into the floor, and then inhale, lower. Keep the spine straight. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Okay. Last one. I want you to take those feet back so that you're in a full plank now. Make sure the pelvis is tucked under. Rib to hip connection. Ugly plank. Planks aren't supposed to look pretty. And then you're going to arch your spine. Take your glutes back, coming into your pike. And then ripple the spine forward, flexing the spine, coming back into your plank. Arching the back, take it back to your pike, and then take it forward to your plank. So really work through the spine here. Make sure you're getting good mobility in the spine. Okay, let's go for another one. Take the knees down to the mat, knees underneath the hips, and then we're going to come into push-up. So I want you to arch the back. Give me a nice arch in the back, opening up the chest a little, and then you're going to inhale, lower the chest down to the mat. Exhale, you're going to press up, start rounding the back, gaze towards your navel. Inhale, arch the spine, lower down. Exhale, press back, flex the spine, round the back. Scooping in the abs. Inhale, lower and arch the back. Exhale, press up, flexing the spine. Very good. So this is like a cat-cow variation that we are combining with the push-up. Let's go for another one. Perfect. Come back to neutral spine. Take that right arm up to the ceiling, open up the chest, and then thread it through underneath the left. Feeling a nice twist in the spine. Release that. Take your hand down to the mat. Inhale, open up the left arm. Thread it through underneath the right. Resting down on that left shoulder. Perfect. Lift it back up. Come down into prone position on your tummy. Just taking my mic off so there's no interference. I want you to bring your hands to the sides. Make sure your forearms are down on the mat. Rest your head on the mat, your forehead on the mat. Bring your legs about hip distance apart. And then you're going to inhale and lift up. Lifting up the back, peeling through the spine as you slightly lift your chest off the mat. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, extending the spine, using those back extensors. Exhale, lower it back down. I want you to keep your gaze down towards the mat. Feel that mind-to-muscle connection, using those back muscles to lift you. You're not using your hands. Your hands are just on the mat for support. You're actually using the back muscles to peel your chest off the mat. Don't clench in the glutes. Relax the legs. On your next one, hold up in this back extension. Take your hands off the mat. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift them off the mat. Hold, don't lose that back extension. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keep up on the same level as you take your hands off the mat, using those strong back muscles. Let's go for another 3, 2, 1. Lower the hands back down and then press back to a shell stretch. Nice counter stretch for the spine. Take a nice big deep breath, calming the nervous system down after class. You did very well. Try to keep this class as beginner as possible, but not too beginner that it's too easy. But you should have felt a lot of work in your core and in your glutes. Okay, when you're ready, I want you to roll through the spine up to seated and then come down into the middle of your mat. Come in a mermaid position, so bring the right leg to the side, left leg in front. Internal, external rotation. And then we're going to take the left arm up and over, coming into some nice lateral flexion of the spine. Take the left hand down, right arm comes up and over. Come back to center. Change leg placement. Right arm comes up and over, followed by the left arm. Come back up. And that's it for today's class, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this beginner's Pilates class. And if you have, please give this video a like, comment down below, let me know how you did. And if you'd like to see more classes like this, subscribe down below as it really supports my channel and I really appreciate it. appreciate it. I hope to see you all in the next video, and I will link some more beginner classes either up here or down in the description. Bye guys.